On Osrc News at 7. Ondo State Government wraps up palliative distribution plans to mitigate effects of fuel subsidy removal. Local Government Service Commission in Ondo State holds workshop for effective service delivery. Tribunal declares Kaduna governorship election inconclusive. Orders rerun in 7 words. And from the foreign scene, MAB lynches Indian Muslim for taking banana at Hindu temple. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Remy Allen. Ondo State Government says distribution of food items released by federal government to cushion the effect of hardship occasioned by removal of fuel subsidy is in top gear. Members of the Palliative Distribution Committee in Ondo State who spoke with Osrc dispelled insinuations that politics and other considerations were prioritized. Omoniola Ubeji has detail.
Some months ago, federal government of Nigeria announced the release of 5 billion naira alongside food items as palliative to states to cushion the effects of the subsidy removal on petrol in Nigeria. Ondo State government got its own share of 3,000 bags of rice for vulnerables and acquired additional 3,000 bags for sufficiency. Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bamidele Ademola Olateju, confirmed that the 6,000 bags of rice will be equitably distributed under transparent conduct to mitigate the current hardship. To this end, a committee was constituted which has representatives from various sectors, society, and associations to cover all and sundry. A member of the committee in Akure South local government, Mr. Gbenga Fashua, who spoke on measures adopted for the execution, confirmed that the poor of the poorest were the major target of 1 bag of rice to 5 households.
The structure had been well designed and we are following it to a letter. The poorest of the poor is the target. And for Akure South local government, I can vividly say it had been 100%. The turnout had been awesome. And of course, when we were scaling how this would be distributed, we covered it without any reservation for a particular area. The Christian community, the Muslim community, the indigents, Hausa community. I think on the first day when we started in Akure South local government distributing us, we got 2,000 bags. And the module is that a bag shall be for 5 household. For that, we are expected to distribute for 10,000 households in the first phase. And I can confidently say that this first phase, we broke it into phases. The first phase, we had over 100 households that we've been able to give to. As we speak, we've done about 4 occasions, though we still had left. Following, as people are coming in, there is a slip of a form that is being rolled out per community. I am sure there is virtually no community within Akure that has not been covered.
Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Ondo State, Charles Titiloye, who oversees that of Akure South local government, said data was collated before the commencement of the distribution.
Our special interest is the vulnerable, the widow, the poorest of the poor, the unemployed youth, and then people who are living with disabilities. So far, the various communities have responded very well to our request for data. We collated data first, and after the collation of data, we sent mass SMS to those who are beneficiaries, and then they come to Akure South local government to receive the palliative.
He also speaks on the next line of action.
Sharing of palliative is going to be in installment. That is what the state government are packaged. What we are having now is 10 kg of rice, which is going around now. Sooner or later, we are going to take delivery of gari. We are going to take delivery of lubo. And we are very sure that we'll be able to wet the town with enough food for our people.
In the same vein, more interventions are currently ongoing in the state to cushion the effects of the hardship, including 10,000 naira for all pensioners in the state from August this year, free shuttle bus for school children, mass transit for workers, and support for farmers. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
The Ondo State Local Government Service Commission has held a one-day capacity building workshop in Akure for its administrative officers. The training is aimed at enhancing their writing skills for effective service delivery. Joy Pius reports that the core of the program is fundamentals of speech writing, reporting, and minuting in administration.
The role of administrative officers at enhancing quality service delivery in the local government workforce cannot be overemphasized. Hence the need for this one-day capacity training organized by the Ondo State Local Government Service Commission for administrative officers to further improve their capabilities in the discharge of their duties. Declaring the event open, Chairman of the Commission, Mr. Femi Idris, stated that the training is aimed at equipping officers in the state with the necessary skills in speech writing, reporting, and communication for effective service delivery, charging them to brace for the responsibilities ahead. He added that the Commission will continue to prioritize training of its workers for their operational development.
There is no gainsaying that the Commission places high premium on the administrative cadre in the local government service. Your role not only as line managers, but also executors of government policies cannot be overemphasized. The Commission is aware of the enormous responsibility before you, and this forms the basis of the caliber of officers selected for this training. As bridge builders between the top management class and the middle level officers, you are expected to be above board. You should at all times demonstrate your understanding of the job as much as is expected of you in the areas of adequate reporting, minuting, and articulating issues for management consideration.
The guest speaker, Mr. Sholai Muru, took on participants in the fundamentals of speech writing and its elements, stressing the need for them to embrace self-development.
Speech writing is a learnable skill and it can be a gift. Like I said, it's hardly taught at school. So in most cases, we are accidental speech writers. That's the reason where personal development comes in. You have to develop yourself.
For the participants, the program has reawakened the sleeping giants in them, which will help them serve better.
You know, the work of an admin officer, we write a lot. We must be heard, but not be seen. So most of the things we do is to write. So for the Local Government Service Commission to organize this seminar, they actually know what they're doing. It enables us and enhances us to be effective and efficient in our day-to-day activities.
It has also taught us a lot of things we need to know when we are writing speeches for our principals. And it will also enable us to know those necessary things we need to do when it comes to speech writing. It is indeed an eye-opener for us, and it's a very far-reaching seminar.
According to the stakeholders, lack of effective communication, poor use of language, among other factors, are top of the problems confronting the public service, which the training dealt with. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
This September edition of the monthly environmental sanitation exercise holds across Ondo State on Saturday. A statement by the General Manager, Ondo State Waste Management Authority, Mr. Adefola Omowole, said there will be restriction of human and vehicular movement between the hour of 7 and 10 in the morning. Mr. Mowale, who implored residents of the state to use their period to clean their surroundings, said any violator will face the wrath of the law. He assured the people of the state of better days ahead towards making the state cleaner, better and better, neater and better. In commemoration of Nigeria's 63rd Independence Day anniversary on Sunday, October 1, 2023, the federal government has declared Monday, October 2, 2023, a public holiday. This was announced by the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, on behalf of the federal government. In a statement by the ministry's permanent secretary, Dr. Oluwatoyin Akinlade, he assured Nigerians of President Bola Tinubu-led administration's continued commitment to tackling challenges facing the country. The minister added that the greatness ahead of the country was achievable if all citizens work together in unity. You're watching Osrc News at 7. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back. To enjoy more news from our station, you can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Undo.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Fluffy! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I did beat the guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Thanks for rejoining us. Moving ahead, the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Uyo today dismissed the petition filed by the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate, Mr. Akanimo Udofia, challenging the election of Pastor Umo Eno of the People's Democratic Party as winner of the March 18, 2023 elections. Udofia approached the tribunal seeking for disqualification of Pastor Umo Eno on grounds he presented fraud documents to the Independent National Electoral Commission and also did not score the highest number of valid votes in the poll. The APC candidate also accused Governor Eno of being convicted by an Abuja magistrate court and therefore not qualified to be fielded for elections. For delivering judgment, the Justice Adekunle Adeleye-led tribunal, in its unanimous decision, held that the allegations of substantial non-compliance with the electoral law in the conduct of the elections was not sufficiently proven by the petitioner. The tribunal also held that the magistrate court, in its judgment, nullified its earlier conviction of Pastor Umo Eno, adding that once a judgment is nullified, it ceases to exist and therefore disagreed with the petitioner on the legality of the setting aside of judgment by the same magistrate. Meanwhile, the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Kaduna has sacked Governor Buba Sani of the All Progressives Congress. The petition was filed by the People's Democratic Party's candidate, Issa Mohammed Ashiru. The tribunal also declared the 2023 governorship election, which was held in the state on March 18, 2023, inconclusive. In a split decision of a ratio of 2-1, the three-man tribunal panel, led by Justice Victor Oviawe, declared that the election was inconclusive and thus directed that a supplementary election be held by the Independent National Electoral Commission within 90 days. The PDP based its arguments on the grounds of alleged irregularities and electoral fraud, disposing that its candidate, Issa Mohammed Ashiru, won the election. The tribunal ruled further that INEC is to conduct election in 7 wards, 4 local government areas, 24 polling units, consisting of 16,300 registered voters. The protest by members of Rumoekpe community in Emua local government area of Rivers State has entered its 7th day after protesters shut down the operation of international oil companies in the area. The community maintained that they will not renege on their call for equal treatment and inclusion in the award of a multi-billion pipeline surveillance contract awarded to government Ekpemo Polo, also known as Tompolo. The action of the protesters has affected the country adversely, with an estimated 4.9 million barrels of crude oil being lost within the period of the protest. Speaking during the protest, the President's Association of Upland Communities, Issa Mohammed, said it was unfortunate that a surveillance contract meant for youths from oil-producing upland communities were being given to indigents of riverine communities. About 200 protesters had on September 21 occupied the only access road to the community, demanding their rights as an upland oil-producing community. Former President of All Nigerian American Congress, Amina Ajayi, has, through the Silicon Valley Nigerian economic development, attracted over $19.4 billion pledged investment to Nigeria on the sideline of the United National General Assembly, UNGA, in New York. In a memorandum of understanding, the partners involved pledged the funds of Nigeria's economy. The partnership is projected to help improve the country's strained economy while creating employment opportunities for the youth. Speaking about the partnership, Ajayi said the Economic Summit in New York provided an opportunity to amplify the need for additional support for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. She said SDG 8 priorities: sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, as well as productive employment and decent work for all. The Nigerian and United States governments have signed a proliferation-resistant optimization Pro-X statement on supporting Nigeria in the design, construction, and commissioning processes of Nigeria's multipurpose research reactor NIRR II. This is according to an executive summary of Nigeria's participation in the ongoing 67th regular session of the International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA General Conference held in Vienna, Austria. The Pro-X statement was signed by the Nigeria Atomic Energy Commission and the U.S. National Nuclear Security Administration, NNSA. According to NNSA, the Pro-X program reduces nuclear risks through research support by helping international partners design new research reactors in facilities that reduce the production of dangerous nuclear materials while optimizing reactor performance. The Nigerian delegation was said to have signed the document while participating in a number of bilateral meetings and side events on the sidelines of the conference. The acting chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulkarim Chukul, has appointed renowned journalist Dele Oyewale as the spokesperson for the anti-graft agency. The appointment is with immediate effect from today, September 28, 2023. In separate letters dated Thursday, September 28, Oyewale was appointed the EFCC Head of Media and Publicity, while the former spokesperson, Wilson Uwajaren, was redeployed as the Acting Director of Public Affairs. Oyewale, a practicing journalist, worked with various news outlets, including the News Temple, PM News, and Tel Magazine. President of the United States, Joe Biden, has appointed two Nigerians, Osage Imasoge and Chineye Ogumike, to the 12-member Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the U.S. Reacting to the development, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCAM, congratulated the duo on their nomination. Dabiri into the Advisory Council is a welcome development, adding that their recognition and appointment into the 12-member Advisory Council is a motivation for time WNBA All-Star for Los Angeles Sparks. A man in India has killed a 22-year-old after he was tied to an iron pole and beaten up on suspicion that he had stolen banana at a prayer event organized by the area's Hindus. The event was held three lanes away from the victim's house in Sundarnagri area of the Indian capital, New Delhi. The police have begun investigation into the matter, saying they were informed about the incident after he had passed away. North Korea and China. King made a sudden dash into North Korea from the south on July 18, while on a civilian tour of their heavily fortified border, and was immediately taken into
United States. Travis King from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The U.S. soldier who illegally crossed the border into North Korea is in U.S. custody. Private Travis King made a sudden in July. U.S. officials said happy to be home. The Swedish government retrieved King in North Korea and brought him over to the border to China, where he was taken into U.S. custody. State Department spokesman.
For their work as the protecting power that they did to help facilitate his transfer back to the United States.
At the time of his border crossing, King had been transported by the U.S. military to the airport to return to his home unit in the United States, despite attempts by South Korea and U.S. guards to stop him. His shocking case triggered heated discussion within the U.S. government, but Washington declined to declare him a prisoner of war. Instead, North Korea appears to have treated his case like one of illegal immigration. Pyongyang has said it was seeking refuge due to racial discrimination within the U.S. Army. A spokesman for King's mother expressed her gratitude to the Army for securing her son's release. For Osrc News.
And moving to sports, Morocco have been awarded the hosting of the 2025 era, all withdrew before the vote of the Confederation of African Football's Executive Committee in Cairo. Olumide Adeluwoye has an update.
The host in 2025.
Can we clap hands for Morocco, please?
That is after Guinea was stripped of the right to host last year after it was found to be well behind in preparation.
27.
A co-bid from Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda was selected for AFCON 2027. Morocco won by the vote after Algeria, Zambia and a joint bid from Benin and Nigeria all withdrew from the Confederation of African Football Executive Committee vote. Norway favorite. The decision would be seen with Portugal and Spain. With